Hello there you guys, welcome to another one of my live videos. And Manchester United have just beaten Leicester at the King Power Stadium by 1-0 as I currently said. Fantastic result now for Manchester United. So currently now we do sit behind, currently 2 points behind top four as I currently said. So now we have currently gone above Arsenal. They currently play Manchester City very soon as I currently said. But it's good to see now, 9 out of 10 now under Solskjaer. I think that's 25 goals scored. I think with I think it's like, what is it, 7 clean sheets or something like that. Now it's something, 7 goals conceded, as I currently said. So you can see the vast improvements in the team, since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has come into 10 games, as I said, unbeaten now in 10 games, as I currently said. I think Solskjaer today made 2 or 3 changes in the team, as I currently said. He did go with a 4-2-3-1 formation. Mainly the team he went with today is best 11, apart from Alexis Sanchez, because actually Alexis Sanchez started today and Martial was on the bench, but he came later on in the second half. So he went with, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer went with the 4-2-3-1. He put De Gea in net, he put Young at right back, he put Lindelof and Baye as a centre-back partnership, because I do think that's the centre-back partnership I would have gone with. So I did say Baye needs to get more alongside Lindelof, because I think they have got that determination, to get high up the pitch, and press high up the pitch, so they can play out from the back as they did show today. And I think they're on another level, to Jones and Smalling. Luke Shaw got chosen at left back. Obviously, he's our first choice left back. In the midfield, he went with Herrera and Matic, as I currently said. On the left, he put Sanchez, put Pogba in the number 10 position just behind the centre forward, put Lingard on the right, and put Marcus Rashford up front in that number 9 position, as we all currently know. But going into the game, as I did currently say, Manchester United, I thought first 15-20 minutes, we were very good. I thought we were pressing high up the pitch, we were creating chances, as I currently said. We were first to everything, as I currently said. As movement was very good. We was very quick on the ball, as I currently said, and we were getting bodies in decent positions, as I currently said. But we were first to everything, as I said. But we were pressing very well. We were creating chances. We were causing Leicester all sorts of problems, in the first 15 to 20 minutes. As I currently said, Manchester United did take the lead through Marcus Rashford. Rashford on his 100th Premier League appearance today, which was very good to see. But lovely goal it was from Marcus Rashford. It was a misplaced pass from one of the Leicester players. I can't remember who it was. Pogba got it, and lovely touch from Paul Pogba. He was the architect of the assist. Pogba played it through. Lovely touch from Rashford. Lovely touch and composure, to find the back of the net for Marcus Rashford. And that's, that is a clinical finish, for Mr. Howard, as I currently said. And that was 1-0. And, in the end, the game did end 1-0, to be quite honest with you. It wasn't the most convincing performance today for Manchester United, to be quite honest with you. But, we got in there and we got the current 3 points, as I currently said. But I thought the first 15-20 minutes we did very well. I thought we did very well getting, defenders high up the pitch from the back. I thought in the midfield, we looked very good as well. I thought we were pulling the strings off well in the midfield, causing Leicester all sorts of problems, as I currently said. His movement was good. His passing was very good as well in the first 15-20 minutes. And then all of a sudden it died off a bit. And I've got to start to tell you that Leicester actually had more chances than us in the game. I think Leicester had 17 chances, was it? We had 10 chances. I think both teams did create 10 chances, as I currently said. But Leicester, today I thought, defensively, I thought we did quite well today, to be quite honest with you. David De Gea had to pull off some world-class saves as well. I think Jamie Vardy did have a couple of chances for Leicester in the game as well. Leicester had a couple of opportunities, from some set pieces, where they got in the game. But Leicester did look dangerous, when they was on their counter-attack. But I thought defensively, we did look very good indeed. But I thought the majority of the players played very well today, for Manchester United. It's good to see Paul Pogba yet again, getting an assist. It's good to see Rashford scoring again. I think that's 6 goals in 8 games, is it now, for Marcus Rashford, as I currently said. But not the most convincing performance, as I currently said. A good win, considering that Leicester got a draw with Liverpool. They've beaten Man City this season. They have beaten Chelsea this season as well. So we know potentially, Leicester are no pushovers, as I currently said, because they have got, good players in their team. But I thought they did have a lot of chances today, did Leicester City. They did get back into the game, midway through the first half. They did create opportunities, as I currently said. But I just thought Leicester weren't clinical enough in the final third. And I think the majority of the chances Leicester, had, were quite wasteful, to be quite honest with you. So I think Leicester's finishing was quite poor. But obviously, they haven't got the quality. They haven't got the quality up front that obviously Manchester United have got, as we all currently know. But I thought, we were very, very good. First 20 minutes especially, I thought we was very, very good anyway. I think, we had a lot of possession, as I currently said. But you can see the vast improvements since Solskjaer's coming. I think we're defending better. The midfield looks better. I think we are creating more chances, as I currently said. Scoring more goals. And you can see the vast improvements in the team. And, we are playing that attacking football under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. So he's got the team to express themselves and get them enjoying football. And this is exactly, what Manchester United are doing. And we have, got back to winning ways after that disappointing, 2-2 draw with Burnley midweek. But obviously he made 5 changes in that game, did Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. But you can see the vast improvements in the team. We're playing more direct, more forward thinking. We have that determination that we do want to score goals. We have that determination, that we do want to get bodies in decent positions. And I think, Paul Pogba does suit that number 10 role, to be quite honest, because the assist he provided today for Rashford's goal was absolutely sensational. I think if he does carry on playing in that number 10, he can do it again, and he's capable of doing it again and again and again. Is Paul Pogba, as I currently said, but he's been scoring and providing. Rashford's been scoring and providing, as I said. But Rashford mainly for me is the number 9. He has played on the left a couple of times, but to be quite honest, I think Rashford looks better in the number 9. Sanchez obviously started on the left today. To be quite honest with you, Sanchez he's not the player as he was at Arsenal, to be quite honest with you, because I thought Sanchez, to be quite honest, he wasn't that good today. He gave the ball away a couple of times in the first half, as I did currently see as well. Sanchez was quite poor today. I think he was quite wasteful, to be quite honest with you. Lost the ball a couple of times as well, Alexis Sanchez. These areas of his game he does need to adapt, to be quite honest with you. But there's still room for improvement. As the more game time he gets, he probably will improve his game under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. But I don't think he was that good today, to be quite honest with you. But I thought the majority of the team was very, very good. I think Matic is improving as well. I think Matic is galloping forward, man. We have, if you see that, I think, they look very, very effective, as a midfield with Herrera, Matic and Pogba and all that. I think they look very, very effective, and I think they're a good trio. And we have got, good ball playing midfielders, as I said. And I think Matic has really, really improved since he's come to since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's come. Matic's distribution's improved. He's looking more effective in his passing, and he's galloping forward more, just like we are getting fullbacks, higher up the pitch, that are getting involved more in the game as well. But I thought Bailly played well today, in my opinion. I think Lindelof dramatically improved for Manchester United this season. Jamie Vardy did have a couple of chances today, as I currently said, but Leicester will be disappointed with themselves, because they did actually have a lot of chances in the game, where David De Gea had to pull some great saves off, but quite a lot of them were wasteful, to quite honest. But I just think, they were struggling to break us down. Obviously they haven't got that quality, and they failed, to capitalise in the final third, as I currently said. But anyway, there was quite a lot of chances. There was quite a lot of chances in the game, as I currently said. But Leicester had about 17 shots, didn't they? We had, I think, was it 10 or something like that. But yeah, the second half comes, and Leicester, actually started the second half, quite brightly, to be quite honest with you. Also, too, a Leicester player should have been sent off in the game as well. I can't remember who it was, but Paul Pogba got shoved out. I think he got pushed or something like that. He got pushed over, and the Leicester's basically should have been down to 10 men in the game as well. But reportedly, Mike Dean, was it, the referee, didn't currently see it. But Leicester started the second half brightly, and then we got back in our shape again. We started playing again, passing the ball well, getting bodies in decent positions. As I currently said, obviously you've got, Rashford, who's a real threat, as I currently said. But in the second half, as I did say, Solskjaer did bring some substitutions on, as I currently said. I was surprised Martial didn't actually start from the start today, to be quite honest with you, because obviously he didn't play Martial against Burnley because he suffered a minor injury, so I'm surprised he didn't start. I just thought he might give Alexis Sanchez the chance, to be quite honest with you. But Martial did come on, as I currently said. Who else came on in the game as well? Martial came on. I think Phil Jones came on towards the end of the game as well. Jones did come on. Martial came on, and someone else, Lukaku came on as well. So the 3 subs that came on were Lukaku, Martial, and Phil Jones that come on in the game. Martial could have, scored again. He could have come off the bench and scored. He had a great chance, in the second half. It was saved by the goalkeeper. Lukaku had one as well when he came on. That was saved by the Leicester goalkeeper as well, as I currently said. But mainly, Solskjaer has been rotating, since he has come to Manchester United, as we all know. He has been rotating the squad, and he did say he was going to give everybody the chance, including the young players, as I currently said. But yeah, he's going to give everybody the chance, and he has been rotating, as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has currently said. But the lineup he went with today, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, that's mainly our best starting 11. Without Sanchez there, if he'd put Martial on the left, and started Martial on the left today, that would have been potentially, our best 11. That Ole Gunnar Solskjaer got me. But it was good to see him put Bay into the team, because we know mainly he has been putting Phil Jones alongside Lindelof as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He has been putting Phil Jones alongside Lindelof recently, but as I did say, I think Bay needs to get more in the team, because I think Bay's got good composure, and I think him and Lindelof complement each other as a centre back partnership, as I currently said. But it wasn't the best of performances, but the first 15-20 minutes, were very, very good, and I think Solskjaer's brought something magical to this team. He's got the team motivated. He's got a team full of confidence, and you can see the attitude in the players that they want to go out and play for this manager, and get results. As I currently said, and he's brought the fluidity, back into the team. As I said, and I can see that we are playing between the lines as well. We're scoring, we're providing. You can just see the vast improvements, in the team. As I currently said, we're all aware that we still know that we need signings in the summer, as I currently said. But I think defensively, to be quite fair, we really have improved as well since Solskjaer's come in defensively. Kept another clean sheet today, which was very, very good to see. So we've done very, very well, since Solskjaer's coming, especially, on the road, as I currently said. But what is it now? 9 wins out of 10. I think it's 25 goals scored, 7 goals I think conceded. As I currently said, so I'm very, very impressed, to be a Manchester United fan. We know Leicester aren't that good, but they have got good players in their team. I thought Herrera did well in that midfield today. I thought handled James Maddison very, very well. Herrera did play, but quite well, to be quite honest. And I think Herrera, to be quite honest, has played a really, really big part in the team, since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's come in. I think he's played a big part in the team under Herrera. I think he's getting more starts from the start. Herrera's galloping forward more and getting more involved. And I think today looks very, very good alongside Matic, did under Herrera. I didn't think Matic had a bad game, to be quite honest. I think the majority of the players, played well, but Rashford, again, sensational. And Rashford could have scored more than 1 goal today, because he had quite a few other chances of his own. He had one in the first half, which just went over the bar. He should if he'd just hit that lower, that would have gone in as well. We had quite a few of his chances of his own, but Leicester had a lot of chances, but quite a lot of them, were wasteful. There was times where, as I did say, where David De Gea had to make some good saves, a couple from set pieces. There was one instant where David De Gea had nearly lost the ball, and that Leicester player, nearly ran in as well. I can't remember who that was, to be quite honest with you. But yeah, good win for Manchester United. Obviously we're keeping the pressure on that top 4, because obviously, we do want top 4 this season. That is our main objective, to get top 4 this season. That's the most important thing. Because obviously City are playing Arsenal. I'd actually rather City beat Arsenal, considering that I do want Manchester United to get top 4. We've still got a great chance, of winning the FA Cup this season as well. But today it wasn't the most convincing performance, but all that matters is we did get the 3 points, as I said. But the first 15-20 minutes, I thought we were sensational, to be quite honest. I thought, as I did say, we passed the ball quick, we were getting bodies in decent positions. I thought, we were pulling the strings off very, very well in the midfield defensively, getting, defenders high up the pitch, and getting more involved. So with Bailly and Lindelof, I think, are very, very good at playing from the back, as I currently said. I thought Rashford had a great, great game today. His goal was absolutely fantastic, as I currently said, and he could have had more than one today, Marcus Rashford. I thought when we went 1-0 up early on, it was going to be around probably a 2 or 3-0 game at least, but it didn't turn out that way, as I currently said. But we still had chances of his own. It wasn't the best performance. It wasn't a poor performance, but it wasn't the most convincing performance. And when we do play his best, we are capable of doing it worse than that, as I currently said. But the glory days are returned. We are starting to see the Alex Ferguson days now, as we all currently know. And I think this team can become a replica of what the team did and achieved under Alex Ferguson. And maybe we are still at least a year off the league, because we do need signings in the summer. But as I did say, I think Solskjaer's the right man for the job at Manchester United. And I just watched Marcus Rashford's post-match interview after the Leicester game. He did currently say that Manchester United, are working in blocks, and he did mention basically that it was a poor result, on Tuesday, was it, against Burnley? But he said it's good to see, that we have got back to winning ways. We're showing determination, we're showing that heart, we're showing that desire, and we're showing that passion, that we do want to play for Manchester United, as he said. But I think Solskjaer should get the job on a full-time basis, to be quite honest with you. I really think he should get on a full-time basis, because he knows everything about the club. He knows the trappings of the club. He knows the culture of the club, and he knows the club inside out. Because don't forget, he knows everything. He won trophies here as a player under Alex Ferguson, as I do keep saying, for 11 years. Watch some of these players grow and develop. When he managed the reserve team as well, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And obviously, I think he should, get the job on a full-time basis. And he has been discussing that I'd love the job on a full-time basis. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, as obviously Ed Woodward has confirmed. Obviously, he wants to. hire a director of footballing and all this. This is what he's been saying, Ed Woodward, obviously to hire a director of footballing, before we basically, make a decision who the manager is going to be at the end of the season. And yeah, we want to hire a director of footballing before we commit to a full-time a manager at the end of the season, whether it's going to be Solskjaer or Pochettino. And obviously, he wants to do this before he commits to future signings, as I currently has said. But I do expect players, to leave in the summer. I do expect experienced players, to be leaving in the summer as well. So it'll be interesting to see that if we can get a few young players, that can grow and develop under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer in the summer. Obviously, we've still got to sort contracts out as well. That's the most important thing, as I currently said. And it's good that we signed Martial a new 5-year deal, because I think he'll grow and develop and he'll get better and better and better. But I think, in the process of Marcus Rashford's game, I think, he's really, really improved. I think everything's improved about him since Solskjaer's coming. I think his finishing's improved. He looks quicker on the ball. And, he's been a United player, since the age of 7. He's progressing up the ranks fantastically well. And these areas of his game that he has really, really improved on Marcus Rashford since Solskjaer's coming. And I think, he's playing a key role, is Marcus Rashford, which is very, very good to see, as I currently said. But as I did say, in my Leicester Man United preview, whenever I said it, I did say that Jamie Vardy would be a threat, a threat, and he'd be Leicester's danger man. I did say that. I said James Maddison may have could have caused problems for us as well. So Leicester did have a couple of players in their team I thought they would have caused problems for us. They did look dangerous on the counter attack. They got quite in. They got in our 6-yard box numerous occasions that I did currently see, and they did have chances, but the majority of them were quite wasteful, as I currently said. But I thought all in all today, it's a comfortable winner for Manchester United. It wasn't the most convincing, performance, but it doesn't matter. We got the win. We used to do it numerous times under Alex Ferguson when we wasn't at his best. We'd grind out results and win games, and that's the most important thing, is the 3 points, as I currently said. So we do want to keep that pressure on the top 4. As I currently said. But now, that's 9 out of 10 wins now under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, as I currently said. Next game, Manchester United is Fulham away. Is it on Saturday? That should be another 3 points for Manchester United. So that should be what... so we've played 10 games under Solskjaer. We've won 9 out of 10. So if we beat Fulham, that is 10 wins out of 11 under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And I do think we'll beat Fulham. We do know that PSG is going to be a tester for us. We've got a great news going into that PSG game, that currently Neymar is out for up to 10 weeks, is he? Something like that. Is it a broken foot or something like that? So that's very, very good news for us. But PSG have got quite a few quality players, that could cause us problems as well. So hopefully we'll have to be up for the task. And then we've got Liverpool coming up soon. We've got Man City coming up soon. We've also got Chelsea as well, I forgot to mention, coming up in the FA Cup soon. So these games coming up thick and fast. As I couldn't have said, but it's good to see that Solskjaer's brought the confidence back in the team. He's brought the fear factor back to the club. He's got the team playing in the right vein, in the right manner, and he's got the right mentality into the team. And you can just see that the cohesion of the team's right, the structure of the team is currently right as well. And this is all down to that man who's brought, the confidence back to Manchester United. As I couldn't have said, and quite honestly, I didn't expect it, considering that he wasn't really good at Cardiff. To quite honestly, he got Cardiff relegated. When he was at Mold, he won 2 Norwegian titles with Mold as well. But he never really had that managerial experience, before he came to Manchester United, because he was more of a, player. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was a great player. But as I said, I think he can elevate this team to that higher level, and he can get us, where we want to be, and get us in that commanding position, as I currently said. And I think maybe next season, if Solskjaer's still here, I think, he can get us back up there competing with the likes of City, Liverpool, and, get us back up there competing, for major honours, which would be very, very good indeed. We know Manchester United have spent a lot of money, since Ferguson left. We've spent £700-800 million. We've seen players come in, we've seen players leave Manchester United as well. But as I did currently say, yeah, we spent £700-800 million, since Alex Ferguson left the club. Obviously we did Manchester United. Reportedly are going to give whoever the manager is, whether it's Solskjaer or another manager, reportedly we're going to get around a £200 million spending spree to spend in the summer on currently players that we want. But we do need the right sort of players. We need maybe we need a defender, that is capable of pressing high up the pitch, who can play out from the back. I think we need someone on that right hand side, as I currently said, who has has the ability to, you know, like Martial and Rashford and Lingard do, as I currently said. So we do need to get the right names to Manchester United in the summer, probably 3 or 4 in the summer, 3 or 4 out, as I currently said. But yeah, we know there has been talks, obviously, of Mauricio Pochettino, you know, coming in at Manchester United, as I currently said. But we don't need Mauricio Pochettino, and I do know that he's done well in the Premier League and he's done a fantastic job with Tottenham as Mauricio Pochettino, don't get me wrong. But as I did say, he hasn't won in terms of silverware. You know, he hasn't won out in terms of silverware as Mauricio Pochettino, as we all know. He signed a 5-year deal last summer, as we all currently know, Mauricio Pochettino, but he's been managing since 2009. He's only spent £50 million at Tottenham since 2014, and he's good at growing and developing young players, is Mauricio Pochettino, as we all currently know, but he hasn't proved himself in terms of winning silverware. I think he's won over 100 odd games for Tottenham. He has got a good record with Tottenham. You know, when he was at Southampton, had a good record with Southampton as well, and this is what his 50th season with Tottenham. But Pochettino will not leave Tottenham anywhere. He won't leave, because Daniel Levy made it clear 2 or 3 weeks ago. Danny Levy said he's reluctant to let Pochettino leave, even if we were willing to offer in the excess of around 40-50 million pounds for Mauricio Pochettino. You know, Danny Levy wouldn't currently let him leave, and I don't think he's got any intentions of leaving Tottenham anywhere. But we know he's been our number one. You know, I think Solskjaer should definitely get the job on a full-time basis, and he deserves the credit, you know, for getting us to it. You know, because obviously, you know, we was in a bad position a month or so ago under Jose Mourinho, and all of a sudden, since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's come in, you know, he's got this team playing, you know, in the right vein, in the right manner, as I currently said, and it's really, really good to see. As I currently said. But, you know, it also said that basically that Chelsea may be interested in hiring Pochettino as well. He also mentioned Man Utd, because obviously reports are coming out saying that Sarri is under pressure at Stamford Bridge. But from a Chelsea point of view, they'd obviously want to give him a bit more time. It is on his first season, as I currently said, and they did get a Higuain and in the January window. They did also get Pulisic, but he's got loaned back to Dortmund, but he'll be officially playing for Chelsea in the new season. Obviously, from Chelsea's perspective, they'll be disappointed that they didn't get a replacement for Fabregas in the January window, so they'll look to recruit in the summer to try and get a replacement for Cesc Fabregas, will Chelsea, as we all currently know. But it's only Sarri's first season. Obviously hasn't won a trophy yet as a manager, so this is what he's looking to do. He has got a great opportunity of doing this as Sarri, you know, when they do play Manchester City in the Carabao Cup final. So that will be his first major honour he has won as a manager, Sarri, as I currently said. But this all boils down to, you know, Chelsea's bad defeat they had to Bournemouth. This is why Sarri's under pressure. And obviously, I think as Roman Abramovich, that was actually their first defeat, heaviest defeat for like 23 years. But as Roman Abramovich has confirmed, if Chelsea do fail to qualify for the Champions League, you know, for next season, and obviously don't get top 4, Sarri probably will leave Chelsea, as I currently said, and this is Abramovich, you know, made this clear. But as he did currently say, you know, Chelsea have had a lot of managers in a short period of time, you know, that have been, you know, they got rid of Conte, but Conte won the Premier League and FA Cup in his first season, did he? You know, they had Scully at one point, Avram Grant at one point, Jose Mourinho, they got rid of him as well, even though he did win titles with them. You know, they sacked Villas Boas as well. You know, they've sacked quite a few managers of Chelsea, you know, in a short period of time, as I currently said. So, you know, you couldn't say Chelsea are a sacking club because they've sacked quite a lot of managers, in a short period of time. So, reportedly, they have showed an interest in, you know, hiring Rich Pochettino. But as I did say, we need to keep Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, because obviously he's brought something magical to the club. He's a cheaper alternative, as I currently said. Wouldn't cost us out, or he may cost us a little, you know, to get him in on a full-time basis. I'm not too sure about that. But obviously, that money, you know, we'd be paying for Pochettino if we were to recommend him, mend him in at the end of the season, which would cost us around £35-40 million. We might as well save that money, keep Solskjaer, and probably get a signing with that money in the summer, as I currently said. But yeah, great result today for Manchester United, as I currently said. We haven't actually lost to Leicester, you know, since 2014, you know, when they actually, you know, did beat us 5-3. So we haven't lost to them for a long time anywhere, as I currently said. But our objective this season is to get in that top 4, as we all currently know, and obviously that is the most important thing, as I said. That is the most important thing, as I currently said. But Manchester United, you know, have looked at a couple of players, you know, that they may go for in the summer, you know, as I have been discussing with you on my recent videos, you know, that we have basically, you know, we know that Jadon Sancho has been mentioned in the press in the last couple of days. Again, 18 years of age, very young in his prime, this Borussia Dortmund. You know, since he has broken to the Borussia Dortmund, you know, first team, his performances have been very good indeed. Used to actually play in the Borussia Dortmund reserve team as well. Has had experience of playing in in English football, as we all currently know. He's had experience of playing in English football, as this Jadon Sancho, as we all know, because he had a couple of years, with Manchester City. He turned a £30,000 a week deal, for Manchester City. So he basically, went to Borussia Dortmund. And Borussia Dortmund paid, just £7-8 million to him. So I think he's grown and developed, very, very well as Jadon Sancho, as I currently said. He actually played for Watford, he began his youth career with Watford. He was there a number of years. At just the age of 7, he joined them, and then joined Manchester City at the age of 14. He had a couple of years with Man City, but we know he won't come cheap, and we know we have got the financial power to meet his valuation. I think Borussia Dortmund rate him at around, £90 million, or something like that. He has got a contract with Borussia Dortmund until 2022, but if Man United are willing to pay that, staggering amounts of money for the young player as well, as I currently said, but we've got to get the right players to come in the summer, but he's only very, very young, as I currently said. He's only very, very young, is Jadon Sancho, as I currently said. He's only very, very young, as I currently said. But Borussia Dortmund, have done business in the past, as we all know. They sold Pulisic, for £58 million to Chelsea, but he's going to be officially playing for them in the new season, as I said. They sold Ousmane Dembele for around £106 million to Barcelona as well. So there's two young players, where Borussia Dortmund, have sanctioned off, and, financially, they've made a huge profit on them players, because they didn't pay, much for the players, where they got them from, as I currently said. But as I currently said, yeah, so we have maybe, we may go for him in the summer, as I currently said, this Jadon Sancho. And as I did say, he's been first choice in the Dortmund team this season, above Christian Pulisic, as we all currently know. He is a winger, and he's only very, very young in his prime, so it would be good for him, to experience the Premier League. City obviously do have a buyback option on the Sancho, as we all currently know as well. Obviously, we've been, but there's other players that we could go for as well. We know that Felix did get mentioned in the media as well, that Benfica player. It did say quite a few teams were interested. Man United actually, instructed scouts, to keep a close eye on them. Felix, Benfica player. The narrative came out about this in the January transfer window that Manchester United were interested in him. He has got a staggering £105 million buyout clause as a current player in his current contract. And then since he's broken to the Benfica first team, reportedly his performances have been good, and he only broke into the Benfica first team, last year. Did the player, and he's yet to make his senior debut for Portugal, as I currently said. But only 19, he's versatile. He can play in quite a few numerous positions, as I currently said, and he can score goals, and he can provide, as he has proven, since he's got in the first team, with Benfica as well. So, reportedly, we could go for him in the summer. Liverpool expressed their interest in him back in the January window. I think Liverpool had around a 61 million, was it a 61 million pound bid, turned down for Felix, as I currently said. But we know that Steven Bergwijn had got mentioned in the January window as well, and he's another young player that Manchester United had showed an interest in as well. We instructed scouts, to keep a close eye on Steven Bergwijn as well. Steven Bergwijn's under contract with PSV till 2022, rated at around £24-25 million, as I said. And since he's been in the first team with PSV, reportedly his performances have been very, very good indeed. Can play in each win, as I currently said, but Man United have asked PSV, for PSV to keep them informed if PSV are willing to do any business. As I currently said, I think £24-25 million a reasonable fee, to be quite honest with you, but he is only young. He's only, he's 21 years of age. He's Dutch. He's Steven Bergwijn, as we all clearly know, but we have expressed our interest in him as well. So there has been talks about that, going on in the media as well. But we know the two major priority targets, we do want to go for in the summer, who has been spoken about. We know Koulibaly, reportedly, I think his agent, or his current former agent, reportedly has revealed that he will be available for around £88 million in the summer. It is a slight lower figure, but obviously Manchester United have been in, negotiations. We're in negotiations in January. Man United in the process had 3 bids turned down. Obviously the recent one was a staggering £95 million, but as I said again, if we're going to get a £200 million kitty to spend in the summer, and we have got that financial power to meet his valuation, as I said, because he's got a contract with Napoli till 2023. He's been at Napoli a number of years now as Koulibaly, and he's grown and developed very, very well. He's 27 years of age, and I think he does have that determination to gallop forward. He's tall as well, which is very, very beneficial, and I think he'd look good, if you put him alongside Victor Lindelof, and you put him alongside Eric Bailly. I think he looked very, very good indeed, because I've been very, very impressed with Lindelof this season. Bailly, I think he was good today as well, Eric Bailly, to be quite honest with you. And I think, but I've always liked Bailly, because I think Bailly's got great potential. as I currently said. But if you put Koulibaly alongside them, I think, he'd look very, very good, to be quite honest with you. And I think he can play out from the back, Koulibaly as well, and he's really, really good at galloping forward, and he has very, very little weaknesses in his game, as I said. But, the racial abuse he suffered back in December last year, this is probably the majority of the reason why he does feel unhappy with Napoli, and I think he would be willing to come to Manchester United, in the summer, because it is our number one major priority target, to get him in the summer, as I currently said. But as Napoli did confirm from their own perspective, they weren't going to be selling him in the January window anyway, as that did confirm. As that did confirm, as I currently said. What else was I going to say? But we know that also too, Milan Skriniar has also been mentioned in the press. He's another player that's been mentioned in the press as well, Milan Skriniar. Milan Skriniar, he's 23 years of age. He's 4 years younger than Koulibaly, as we all know, is Milan Skriniar. I think he's still got currently like 3 years left on his current deal with Inter Milan. He's rated at around 75 million pounds. He's Milan Skriniar, as I said, nowhere near the same levels as Koulibaly, but I still think he's a good player. I think since he's been in Inter Milan, his performances have been very, very impressive in Italy, to be quite honest with Milan Skriniar. But reportedly, we could go for him in the summer. But as I did say, I do expect players to leave. But today, as I did currently say, obviously we know mainly under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer that Martial and obviously Rashford has been his first choice over Sanchez and Lukaku most of the time. But as recently, Solskjaer's been giving Lukaku more of a chance, to improve. He's been giving Sanchez more of a chance to improve. We know Lukaku didn't start today, but he did come on as a substitute. Sanchez, did. I'm surprised at that, as I did say earlier on the video. I thought Martial would have started, to be quite honest with you. But obviously, recently had a minor injury, did Anthony Martial as well. But especially, I thought first 15-20 minutes we were very, very good. We were playing in confidence, getting, playing very, very well. Playing in numbers, as I currently said, causing problems for Leicester. I thought we were pressing high up the pitch. I thought his passing was very, very good. I thought we were very, very good in the attacking third of the pitch. Especially in the first 15-20 minutes, we were causing all sorts of problems. As I currently said, and we were first to everything, as I currently said as well. But as I did say, piece of quality, from Paul Pogba with that lovely, lovely assist, he got. Lovely. It was an absolutely fantastic assist he got, Pogba. Rashford, lovely first touch, and, his touch and his composure, Rashford's, was absolutely fantastic. It was a fantastic goal. And that's the type of goals that you do see from clinical strikers, as I said, and Rashford's growing and developing, and he's going to get better and better and better, as it currently goes on, as I currently said. But we are playing in blocks, as Rashford said. We're working on blocks or whatever he said, something like that in his post-match interview, as I said. But yeah, good 3 points for Manchester United today. So obviously there'll be more live videos coming up very, very soon. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel, guys. If you do consider